So in this video, I wanted to give everyone a quick update about this gel pen. It's the Uni-ball or Uni-One. This is a pen that came out a couple of years ago, and it was kind of characterized by this monochromatic, either white or black body with a wire clip, kind of a minimalist design, and it uses a pigmented gel ink. So it writes like a gel ink, but the gel, instead of having dye, it has pigment, which means it won't wash out when it hits water. So it's a water-safe gel ink. This pen is basically the most popular one you would see, kind of all white. This is black color. Also came out with some colored inks. This is a yellow ink. And the pens primarily have been sold in a 0.5 and 0.7 millimeter, but they also are sold in 0.38. So pretty standard range. They don't make anything smaller than 0.38, and they haven't made a 1.0 millimeter pen yet. The line, I think, was a pretty big hit for Uni-ball. It certainly competes with some popular pens, competes with the Zebra Sarasa and the Pentel Energel, even though those primarily aren't known for being pigmented gel pens. Oh, and I should note that these are only sold as retractable. There's no capped version of the Uni-ball or Uni-One. Since the originals came out and they have a whole mess of colors, sort of like the Pilot Juice or the Juice Up, we've seen some other models. Like we saw this. It's the same exact pen, also called the Uni-One. It has a rose gold clip. It's not actual rose gold. It's just colored, kind of this copper coloring. They call it, I believe, rose gold, maybe a little bit more pink than a copper. These, I think you could still find, also 0.3 millimeter. Really nothing fancy. It's the same price point. You see 180 Japanese yen, and I don't know if the other ones have stickers still. This one's 300. This is more, and I'll get to that later. Anyway, it wasn't any more. It was just a sub-model. Pretty interesting. They kept tweaking the formula with some limited editions. These were generally sold as 4-packs. There might have been some 3-packs, but I think they were 4-packs. And they got that Uni-ball One, and they introduced custom colors that were around a theme. Like this theme is fruit tea. And then the fruit tea collection had a few different versions of it. And this one was the fruit tea coloring and pretty interesting colors. We have a light blue that's butterfly pea, Sicilian lemon, fig, black. So pretty interesting setup there. About $5 in Japan. It costs more in the U.S., but they're also kind of hard to find in the U.S. You could find them if you track them down, but they definitely weren't generally available. And this is just a cardboard packaging. I kept it, which is, it looks, I don't know. I thought it was like really, really nicely done. And then the pens were able to be sold in some interesting colors. The box to give me a lot of trouble. Able to be sold in some interesting colors, like a kind of a blush pink and this gray purplish color. Seen some other ones of these. This is also fruit tea color, limited edition. This is in, you could see, kind of a more of a green, outdoor, like a garden type shades. Green tea, spearmint, Valencia orange, and black. And there were like the concentrate collection and the autumn collection that I never picked up, but they were definitely available. So we have some interesting pens sold in a bunch of varieties. We see this is a 0.38, so you're not going to get a lot of color pickup there, but we see a kind of a light blue, kind of a faded denim type look. That blush pink, kind of a grayish pink. It's a nice color, not super legible, so it'd be more something for kind of artwork or doodling or maybe some journaling type stuff. And then the most interesting release in the series to date, or at least recently, in my estimation, is this one right here, or these two right here. And this is the update to the Uni-ball One F. This is a bigger release. Sorry, this is the update to the Uni-ball One. This is called the Uni-ball One F. Still says Uni-ball One here, but the One F has some more significant changes than we've seen in the past. Same clip, the body has been slightly tweaked. Here we have the one with a hard plastic rubberized grip. The One F has a hard plastic throughout. The One F has a tip protector where the One does not. The One has a sort of a little, a domed tip here, or a writing tip piece. This does not. Instead, it just has the metal tip protector. The rest of the pen is basically identical. We do see the price was bumped up to, let's see if we can make that out, 300 Japanese yen instead of 180, so significantly more expensive. Although these are newer, so maybe that's because maybe the prices would have changed over time. I'm not really sure. Let's see if we could find one with a sticker to get into some more changes. We see the sticker over here was slightly changed as well, where this one has that cool, the barcode looks like the One F, which is quite interesting. This one is the refill on this, and this is the single biggest difference. Is the original refill is the UMN-S-38 or 5 or 7. So remember that UMN-S, that's the pigmented gel refill. Now with the new ones, with the F, we could probably just make that out. Now we have the UMN-SF, 0.5, 0.38, whatever. So we have the Uni-ball One has a new refill, which means in this case, a new ink formulation. So also a pigmented gel ink, but now we have a darker, more saturated color. So blacker blacks, bluer blues, what have you. And so now the One F is, I would say, an upgraded pen from the original one because it has improved ink and some nice changes to the body. I guess the body changes are kind of up to you. I think it looked better before. I liked it single color. Now with the tip protector, it's probably a better pen, but I don't think it looks quite as good. I think they lost some of that minimalist design of the original one. So we could do a quick comparison. This is the Uni-ball One F. So Uni, to my understanding, hasn't said what the F is. I've heard some people, or seen some people write down that it's the Uni-ball One Feel. I'm not sure if that's actually true or not, but I'm going to call it the One F, but maybe it's the One F Feel, or the One Feel. But this is, just keep in mind, this one is the 0.5. So this one over here is good. This is the 0.38. So now we have the One F 0.38. Now let's move over to the One and do some scribbling there. We'll see if we can make out any differences in the color from the One to the One F. You can see, you could probably pick up, given the lighting, that the one here is, to me, it's a little bit grayer than this. This isn't a crazily dark black, but it's a nice, reasonably dark black. This one is definitely a lighter black, kind of gray. And usually when you're using that pigmented ink, it's pretty important, or one of the main reasons to use a pigmented ink is not only that the water doesn't wash it away, is you usually are able to get a darker color. That's why like the platinum carbon black is so black that it's a really nice writing experience. These aren't quite as dark, but it seems like the One F is darker. When you move over to the thicker pen, you put down more ink, and it appears to be darker, or maybe it is darker, but it gets better saturation. Now you can see it's definitely a shade darker, even though these two are the same ink. This one does appear to be lighter. So I think that is probably a pretty good rundown of where we are with the Uni-ball One line right now. We still have the originals. You can still find them. They're available in a bunch of colors. You may be able to find the rose gold. If you want some limited editions, they do have them available. I think I don't love the colors, just because a lot of them are too light for me to use day to day. But some of the colors are interesting. Like here's a nice orange, a nice dark green. If you want to switch things up a little bit, some of these lighter colors, I think I just got overly excited about a limited edition, and I just bought it without really thinking whether I would get a whole lot of use out of a light pink or a light blue. But anyway, I would say go for the darker colors. And if you are discovering the line, you want to pick up some new gel pens for 2022, then you could check out the Uni-ball One F, which is starting to become available in the US. His pen is only maybe 2 months old. I think came up in October-ish, November, around there of 2021. So you're starting to see them become more available. You will pay a price premium if you're in the US. You might have to pay about $3 or $4 per pen, but it is a pretty good pen. It is comfortable, and it's kind of an improved pen on the Uni-ball One, which has been a pretty successful release over the past couple of years. So that about covers it. Thank you for watching.